Hello, Unbrick here, and today I want to discuss the future of LEGO Technic, specifically for the upcoming decade of 2021 up until 2030. Based on the previous decade as well as current trends for LEGO Technic, we can accurately predict what kind of sets are going to come out in the upcoming decade. In 2007, we were first introduced to power functions in LEGO Technic with the 2007 motorized bulldozer, much like how we were first introduced to the powered-up system in LEGO Technic with the 4x4 Extreme Off-Roader of 2019. From 2007, we had to wait 3 years till a fully motorized power function set with a remotely controlled gearbox would come out. But now, we only had to wait 1 year from 2019, since in 2020 we got the 6x6 valve articulated hauler, which came with a fully motorized speed transmission gearbox. It seems like we're getting at least 2 fully remotely controlled LEGO Technic sets every year now. In the winter wave, every time since 2019, we are getting a small RC set. In 2019, with power functions, it was priced at $100, but now, with the more expensive powered-up system, they're each going to be priced at $130. I really hope that they step away from cars and instead do some small construction vehicles like a compactor for $130, or even a fully remotely controlled boat. I want something more special than cars, something that is much more fun to play with. And the summer wave or the October wave, depending on the year, we're definitely going to get at least 1 remotely controlled set. See, in 2019, LEGO Technic started this series of releasing very expensive, massive remotely controlled sets like the 42100 excavator, and 2 years later, every 2 years, we're getting another fully remotely controlled set, because in 2021, which is 2 years later after 2019, we're going to get a $450 bulldozer, which is much like the 42100 excavator. So as you can see, every 2 years they're releasing a massive RC set, but in between they're going to release a smaller remotely controlled set. In 2020 we got the 6x6 valve articulated hauler, which actually came with a fully motorized speed transmission gearbox. So in all the even years we're getting a smaller RC set, but in all the odd years we're getting a $450 RC set. And I really hope that all the smaller remotely controlled sets come with a gearbox of some kind, because here's the thing, when a set is smaller, it can't be more than $250, but it still needs that extra functionality, so they can't really include more than 4 powered-up motors to keep the price, a little bit on the lower side and not go beyond $250, so they do need a function-switching gearbox to achieve much more functions than the amount of motors provided in the set. But I also hope that the bigger RC sets, like the $450 bulldozer, come with some sort of special mechanism, not necessarily a gearbox, but let's say a dual differential tank drive. In real life, these allow for uninterrupted steering and driving, so such a mechanism in LEGO Technic would be absolutely legendary. Every 2 years, we're also getting a supercar set, and in the upcoming decade, we're getting at least 5 more supercar sets. Personally, I hope to get the Aston Martin Valkyrie as well as the Mercedes AMG Project One. Both of these cars would be just incredible to incorporate in a LEGO Technic supercar set, and I also hope that we get some sort of supercar with a 7-speed sequential transmission gearbox. In LEGO Technic, you currently only have a 4-speed sequential transmission with a multiplier gearbox, so you essentially have like an 8-speed sequential transmission gearbox. So with the current building techniques, you can only really get a sequential gearbox with an even number of speeds. A 7-speed manual transmission would be very easy to make, but a 7-speed sequential transmission would be very difficult to make in a LEGO Technic set, so a set that would implement such a transmission would be absolutely legendary. We can accurately say that every single year in the winter wave we're going to get a small remotely controlled set. Every 2 years we're going to get a supercar set in the even years, and in the even years we're also getting a small remotely controlled set for say $200, $250. But in the odd years, which is 2021, 2023, 2025, and so on, we're getting a $450 remotely controlled set. So here's the question. Is this the right path for LEGO Technic future? Right now we're getting more remotely controlled sets than ever before. This does have one main advantage as well as one main disadvantage. The main advantage of fully remotely controlled sets is that they're very fun to play with. You can remotely control them and really just let your imagination take over. But the main disadvantage is that most remotely controlled sets are probably not going to have a gearbox or some sort of special mechanism to really make them unique. So the thing is, most of these sets are probably going to come with just one motor controlling one function, which is very basic. So in the future of LEGO Technic, I hope to see more sets like the 42114 6x6 valve articulated hauler, which came with a fully motorized gearbox. We need to get motorized gearboxes in remotely controlled sets. If we get sets like this in the future, then that is the future of LEGO Technic, and that is the right path. But in the future of LEGO Technic, all the remotely controlled sets are coming with Bluetooth as opposed to an infrared receiver controller, so we're gonna get the powered up system. And if you want to learn about the main advantages and disadvantages of both the power function system as well as the powered up system, then click on the video right over here. This is your Unbrick Me here, and I'll see you in the next one.